So what happened?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out.
Now at 7, a Metro Atlanta Police Department now under fire for how it investigated an alleged attack and home invasion.
So what happened?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out.
532, just confirming you're advising signal 20, front door.
College Park police respond to a home
Oh, thank God.
All right, how you doing?
after Catherine Jensen says her ex-boyfriend attacked her minutes before they arrived.
So what happened?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out. Tried to get the keys from my hand of my truck.
Charles Reed is the man Catherine claimed broke into her home and assaulted her.
She said I kicked in the door.
And why is that a problem?
Because I'm in a wheelchair and have been for 25 years.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey again to y'all another video. Hope y'all having a very great day. Hope y'all having a very great week. My day is going absolutely wonderful. Big shout out to all the channel members and subscribers of the Trey King Show family. And much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story out of Georgia by way of College Park. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of Georgia, everybody inside College Park. Now, before I start this story, I want to send a special thank you out to my channel members and also to my subscribers for sending me the story. And also, keep these stories coming. And as you all may know, today is what? Yes, today is Trifling Tuesday. And this story has trifling written all over it. Now, I want to ask you all one thing. Why can't some people let go of people that they once dated in their life? As in the case of this story right here, where we have 43-year-old Charles Reed and also his ex-crazy girlfriend, Catherine Jensen, 40 years old. And damn, that's a hard damn 40. That's some nasty work right there. But anyway, now it all came to a head just a few days ago where Charles Reed was at the College Park Police Department being arrested for assault. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, what can a man in a wheelchair do as far as assaulting anybody? But the story is not as it seems, because Catherine Jensen, once again, filed a false police report on Charles Reed, stating that Charles Reed came to her residence, assaulted her, kicked in her door, and also tried to take her car keys. And after failing to take her car keys, out of all things, he took off running.
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out. Tried to get the keys from my hand of my truck.
And now, as you all can see, this is not Catherine Jensen's first time filing a false police report on somebody, because she once filed a police report stating that
The police department about 30 miles away arrested her for theft and forgery after allegedly filing a false police report claiming someone stole from her.
So here we have a woman with a history of making false police reports. Now, you would think that she would have learned from her first go around since she was arrested on that. But guess what though? If you don't learn from the first time doing something, guess what you're bound to do? You're bound to repeat it, as in the case of this story right here. Now, imagine you being a police officer getting called to a home of a lady, and she stated that her boyfriend, yes, her boyfriend, had recently assaulted her, had just assaulted her and kicked in her door, tried to take her keys, and took off running when he failed to do so. Now, just think if you're that police officer and you're getting this report. But at the same time, like I told y'all a few minutes earlier, things are not always as they appear to be. And I want to ask you all a question before I dig deep into the story. Have you ever dated somebody in your past, and it's been years ago since you all broke up, but they are still doing little things to cause hell in your life? They are still doing little things trying to get on your nerves? Because I feel most of us have dealt with somebody like that, as in the case of this story right here. But anyway, let's begin.
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out. Tried to get the keys from my hand of my truck.
And now, as you heard Catherine Jensen state to the police that Charles Reed, even though he's in a wheelchair, he's paralyzed from the waist down, been paralyzed for the last 25 years. This woman claimed that Charles Reed came to her residence, kicked in her door, choked her out, and then took off running after he failed to take her car keys. What kind of mess is this? And Catherine Jensen, I mean, you and Charles Reed broke up like 20 years ago. And Charles Reed had been paralyzed since he was 18 years old. So he'd been paralyzed for roughly the last 25 years. So that means he was paralyzed even while you all was dating. But guess what you chose to do? You still chose 20 years later to come back and try to attack this man just because evidently Charles did not want you. But let's continue.
Uncovered evidence that that woman may have fabricated her story. It led to the arrest of a man who says he is innocent.
And now, family, as you heard the news reporter state, the lady Catherine Jensen may have fabricated, may have lied to the police about the story. And what's the reason why is that, family? Because number one, we were talking about a paralyzed man. So how in the hell can a paralyzed man get up out of his wheelchair when he's paralyzed from the waist down, kick in your door, choke you out, snatch your car keys, and when he failed to snatch the car keys, he takes off running? What kind of paralyzed person do that?
Catherine Jensen says her ex-boyfriend attacked her minutes before they arrived.
So what happened?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out. Tried to get the keys from my hand of my truck.
So he grabbed you by your neck?
Handle him myself. I'm too small.
You say he kicked the door in?
He did.
And now, as you heard Catherine Jensen tell the police over and over again that he choked her out and he assaulted her, he attacked her. And also, she was too small to defend herself against him. But come to find out, she is bigger than Charles Reed because remember, Charles Reed is in a wheelchair. I know we're dealing with a man, but at the same time, this man is paralyzed. So how in the hell, number one, once again, can a paralyzed man do all this? And that don't even make it the worst part, family. Now, you would think after this police take this police report, because I understand they have to do their job or whatnot, but at the same time, you would think they would do their due diligence and look further into this matter without trying to immediately go get an arrest warrant for Charles Reed for what? For assault. You would think they will make contact with the person so they can get some kind of description of the person to see if what the person is saying is true. Because once again, remember, like I always tell you all, people lie all the time. But guess what? Don't lie. It's the facts. And also looking around this residence, do you notice any door kicked in? I have not seen any door kicked in. Now, while the police was at this residence of Catherine Jensen, never once they went to a door and she showed them that door was kicked in. So it's quite evident right there. So you would think by the police already being there and being at the scene of the crime, well, alleged crime, that they would like take notice if there was some kind of attack on the residence. But once again, that was not done. And as you all can see, once again, before we move forward, there's nothing wrong with her door. So what in the hell happened? Let's continue.
Charles Reed is the man Catherine claimed broke into her home and assaulted her.
She said I kicked in the door
And why is that a problem?
because I'm in a wheelchair and have been for 25 years.
And like I told y'all, and you heard Charles Reed said it himself, that he's in a wheelchair. He's been paralyzed for the last 25 years. So how can a paralyzed man assault his girlfriend? And guess what? That's not even his girlfriend. That was his girlfriend 20 years ago. So once again, Catherine Jensen, what in the hell did Charles Reed do to you to sit there and make you not want to let him go? And Charles Reed is also married, been married 10 years, and also have a newborn baby.
He's been married for a decade with a newborn.
So back to you, Catherine. How in the hell can a married man who's been married for 10 years, got a family, and moved on with his life, how can that man be your boyfriend and just left your residence assaulting you?
Catherine Jensen says her ex-boyfriend attacked her minutes before they arrived.
Unless you are telling us a lie. And guess what? She is telling a big-ass lie. Let's continue.
Charles cannot move his legs. He's paraplegic following an accident when he was a teenager.
So as the news reporter stated, I'm glad that he stated that Charles Reed cannot move his leg. He's a paraplegic. So how in the hell can a man that cannot move his legs, how can he come over to your residence, stand up, kick a door in, run in, choke you out, try to take your car keys, and then when he failed to take your car keys, he proceeds to take off running. But once again, the man cannot move his legs. So evidently, family, that can only mean one thing, that Catherine Jensen is telling a damn lie. Let's continue.
Tall, short,
Average height.
so all black.
I want to say yes, sir.
Now, as you heard this helper give out all kind of description of how Charles Reed looked, how his description, how he's built or whatnot, not once she ever stated the most obvious thing. And what's the most obvious thing, family? Once again, for those who are paying attention and have their thinking caps on today, what is the most obvious thing that she should have told the police? That Charles Reed was in a damn wheelchair. But at the same time, that would negate and take away everything that she's trying to build on Charles Reed. Because number one, what paralyzed person can do what she said have been done to her? Unless she's telling a damn lie. Anyway, Let's continue.
For 9 months, Charles says he had no clue officers had a warrant out for his arrest for aggravated assault until the federal government alerted him when he tried to renew his passport.
Now, this is where the story take a dark turn at. You would think by the police getting this information, they would do their due diligence trying to figure out who Charles Reed is. And Charles Reed, unfortunately, did not even know he had a warrant out for his arrest until 30 days up until the fact that he made contact with the police. And the way that he found out he had an arrest warrant was not by the police department, was not by Catherine Jensen, because number one, him and Catherine Jensen, once again, family, broke up over 20 years ago. And no, he was not still messing around with her. No, he was not still screwing her. He did not have any contact with this woman. But guess who told Charles Reed that he had a warrant out for assault for his arrest? The damn government. After Charles Reed had to renew his passport, because for anybody to have a passport in their travels, you automatically know that when you have to renew these passports, they check your record for any kind of warrants. And if you have warrants, guess what? You cannot get your passport renewed.
According to the body camera video, Officer Belletti questioned whether he was actually disabled.
And now, family, you would think by a man who's coming to a police station, College Park Police Department that is, in a wheelchair, you would think that these people would take that into consideration. Like, how can a person that's in a wheelchair and wheelchair bound, unless he's pretending, and Charles Reed was not pretending? Because I understand people can pretend a lot. See, we have to explain that thing just like how it's supposed to be. Now, I understand that he could have went and found the wheelchair if he wasn't handicapped or whatnot. But guess what you can't do? You cannot sit up there and be big up top and small in the bottom, because anybody that has any family member that has been paralyzed or dealing with any kind of paralysis, guess what? Their limbs be much smaller. And that's something you cannot fake, no matter what you do, because if you're paralyzed, it's going to show. So you would think by the police seeing this, they would take all that consideration. But evidently, none of them did. Let's continue.
Charles warned the officer putting handcuffs on would likely make him fall because of his paralysis.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And as you all see in the video, even though it's sad, Charles Reed begged the police officer not to put the handcuffs on him, because the only way that he can move around is by using his hands. So if you handcuff the man's hands, how in the hell can he move around? Because evidently the police officer still thought Charles Reed was joking. And you see how he fell and hit that concrete? Now imagine if he would have broke his back or his neck or anything like that, or would eventually fell the wrong way and lost his life. All because we got some heifer who cannot let a person go. That's a damn shame right there. And if I was Charles Reed, I would sue the College Park Police Department and also sue Catherine Jensen, old face ass. That's exactly what I would do. Let's go and close up before I get in trouble.
The officer still didn't believe Charles was disabled. Neither did his supervisor, who never put his eyes on Charles before saying this.
It's a ruse, man. So, I mean, it's an obvious attempt to not to go to jail. So,
and family, this is where the story gets real crazy, as if not the whole story has not been crazy. Now, you would think by them seeing this man Charles Reed roll inside this police station in a wheelchair, you would think they would take that in consideration. You would think by when Charles Reed got handcuffed, he fell out of the chair and couldn't get up. And they left him on that floor for roughly 3.5 minutes. You would think they would take all that consideration. And also, when the police officer went and told his supervisor about what was going on, you would think that supervisor would have got off his ass and went in there and looked at Charles Reed and put 2 and 2 together. And hopefully he would have came up with 4 instead of 5 or 6. Now, the supervisor did not do none of that. But guess who did? Guess who stepped in and defended Charles Reed and really brought the case to a head? Another black cop.
So
a fellow officer disagreed.
Might need to call the district attorney's office, because if the door was kicked in, he didn't kick it in.
And it wasn't the white cop. So they go to show you. Not everybody is racist, because it was the black cop who stated that he had family members that have paralysis. And the cop also stated by looking at Charles Reed's limbs, his legs that is, he could tell that the man was paralyzed. So the police officer, being a good cop, decided to get in contact with the DA, with the district attorney's office. And that's where the information was relayed that we are dealing with a paralyzed man, because how in the hell, once again, as you heard the cop say, even though he didn't say how in the hell, how can a paralyzed man kick a door in, choke a woman out, run away if he's wheelchair bound and has been wheelchair bound for 25 years, since he was 18 years old? That's a damn shame right there. But just think about this. Just think if things would have went left and Charles Reed would have ended up losing his life at this police station, or if the police would have seen him at his house or whatnot. Just think this man would have lost his life All because we got some heifer from 20 years ago who could not let go. But this goes to show you how some people are. But the moral of the story and the main thing I want you all to take from this is this right here, family, is the fact that Charles Reed moved on with his life. As you all see, he got a family, been married for 10 years. He got a newborn daughter. And guess who don't got nobody? Katherine Jensen, old face self. She's 40 years old by herself, still mad and bitter at Charles Reed. But guess what she had the nerve to do in closing, family? She had the nerve to hit the College Park Police Department up and said she need to recant, she need to re-edit her statement that she gave them. All because she told her what? A hot damn lie.
Asking to change her statement, writing, "My mental state and physical trauma in that moment worked to confuse me. Please contact me at your convenience so I can edit the information in the report and clear the name of an innocent man."
Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. If there's anything I may have missed or misinformed, which is not my true intent, please let me know in the comment section, or you can email me and we can talk about it more there. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Also share the video with your family and friends. Till next time, you all stay blessed. And if a person don't want you, let them go and move your ass on. That's the best thing to do. I don't know what to tell people anymore because people got some nerve these days trying to interfere in your life to make your life a living hell just because they are clearly not happy with their own life. Anyway, I will see y'all soon on the next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.